How financial institutions can implement AI risk controls, a full compliance strategy for 2026 plus. When you look at the year ahead, and specifically at the regulatory trajectories shaping 2026 and beyond, one thing is becoming unmistakably clear. Artificial intelligence is no longer an innovation story for financial institutions. It is a supervision story. It is a governance story. And increasingly, it is an accountability story that regulators for banks, credit unions, insurers, and investment firms are elevating to the highest priority levels. Yet if you talk to CEOs across the sector, the same challenge surfaces again and again. The technology is accelerating faster than the governance models built to manage it. Financial institutions are deploying AI in risk scoring, underwriting, trading, fraud analysis, customer intelligence, and operational decisioning, but only a small percentage have what regulators are already signaling they expect: a verifiable, end-to-end AI risk control framework that proves the institution understands, supervises, and governs its high-risk AI systems. So today, we are going to walk through how leaders can actually begin installing AI risk controls that satisfy emerging compliance expectations without slowing innovation. And the key is approaching this strategically, not tactically. The institutions that are getting this right aren't simply adding another set of policies or another layer of oversight. They are redesigning the connective tissue across operations, compliance, risk management, and technology so that AI governance becomes part of the institution's core business mechanics. And that begins with acknowledging a difficult truth. Most financial institutions are using AI, but very few can demonstrate the governance behind it. And in 2026 and beyond, the inability to demonstrate governance will be perceived by regulators as the risk itself. To understand the magnitude of the shift, you have to look at the regulatory landscape. Global supervisors are aligning around a few common expectations: transparency, controllability, traceability, auditability, and ongoing monitoring of high-risk AI models. Regulators are also making it clear that financial institutions must be able to explain the logic behind automated decisions, especially where those decisions affect lending, risk scoring, fraud flags, or customer segmentation. This is not a technical requirement. It is a governance requirement. And the burden of proof is falling directly on senior management. This is where CEOs often feel the pressure. They are being asked to modernize their AI strategies while maintaining compliance, operational resilience, and shareholder confidence. They are navigating legacy workflows, fragmented data ecosystems, and compliance teams that were never trained to oversee model-driven automation. And at the same time, competitors are using AI to compress cost structures, speed up operations, and personalize financial services at levels that were impossible just a few years ago. So the question becomes, how do you take advantage of AI's competitive advantage while installing AI risk controls that satisfy regulators and minimize institutional exposure? It starts with redefining what AI governance actually means inside your institution. In the past, governance was often delegated to the technology function. Today, AI governance is an enterprise-level responsibility anchored in risk management and overseen at the senior leadership level. And that shift matters because it forces organizations to think about AI not as a tool, but as a decision maker, one that needs monitoring, supervision, boundaries, and explicit accountability structures. But here's where things get interesting. If you approach AI governance the right way, it can actually accelerate the institution's adoption of AI rather than restrict it. Strong governance allows AI innovation to move faster because it provides clarity, reduces uncertainty, and builds confidence across internal teams and external stakeholders. The first step is always visibility. Leaders need to know what AI systems exist across the institution, what data they use, what decisions they influence, and what risks they introduce. And most institutions don't have that visibility. AI systems are being deployed inside fraud units, call centers, underwriting departments, digital channels, and operational analysis teams. That fragmentation makes it impossible to manage risk comprehensively. And here's where financial institutions often realize the disconnect. You cannot control AI you cannot see. Once visibility is established, the next step is classification. Not all AI systems carry the same risk. A model that personalizes website content does not carry the same regulatory exposure as an underwriting model or a fraud detection engine. And as 2026 approaches, supervisors will expect financial institutions to have formal classification frameworks for AI systems, especially distinguishing high-risk models from general-purpose or low-risk ones. This classification is what determines how much oversight each system requires. From there, leaders can focus on the real core of AI risk controls: decision integrity. Decision integrity is the practical ability to prove that every AI-driven decision, whether it influences a credit line adjustment, a fraud alert, a risk rating, or a customer recommendation, was made within defined thresholds, using verified data, with appropriate guardrails, and with human oversight at the right stages. The institutions that master decision integrity will be the ones that gain the trust of regulators, customers, and shareholders simultaneously. Now let's talk about something CEOs rarely say out loud but feel daily. AI governance is not just a compliance concern. It is a reputational shield. A single flawed model can damage customer trust overnight. A single bias-driven decision can ignite regulatory action. And a single undocumented AI process can expose the institution to enforcement risk that is far more costly than the cost of building governance correctly. This is why the most forward-thinking institutions are approaching AI governance the same way they approached cybersecurity a decade ago, as a board-level priority, a risk category of its own, and a foundational component of operational resilience. So how do you begin implementing AI risk controls in a way that is aligned with what regulators expect while remaining aligned with your institution's strategic goals? It requires a simple but powerful mindset shift. AI governance is not a project. It is a system. And like any system, it needs structure, accountability, and continuous monitoring. Start by integrating AI governance into your existing risk management frameworks. Financial institutions already have mature risk structures: credit risk, market risk, operational risk, model risk, and compliance. AI governance must be woven into these existing categories rather than sitting as a standalone domain. When governance is integrated, it becomes operational, not aspirational. But integration is not enough. Financial institutions must document AI workflows with a level of clarity that withstands regulatory scrutiny. That includes data lineage, model logic, human oversight points, validation processes, and escalation protocols. Documentation is often the difference between regulatory confidence and regulatory suspicion. Yet even documentation will not satisfy regulators unless it is paired with active monitoring. AI systems evolve, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. Drift happens. Data changes. Customer behavior changes. Fraud patterns evolve. And any shift can weaken model integrity. This is why ongoing monitoring is essential. Not occasional checks, continuous oversight. And monitoring is only effective when institutions know how to interpret what they are monitoring. This is where many organizations stumble. They focus heavily on the technical metrics and neglect the operational and compliance indicators that regulators care about most. AI governance cannot be managed just by data scientists. It must be managed by a cross-functional team that includes compliance intelligence, operational risk, business owners, and technology experts. Leadership should think of AI oversight as a loop, not a line. Models must be reviewed, validated, challenged, monitored, and improved continuously. And each step must be logged. Institutions that build these loops gain a strategic advantage because they understand their AI systems better than competitors do. That level of understanding is the real differentiator. Now, let's address the human element. Even the best governance framework will fail if employees do not understand AI's role and their responsibility in supervising it. Training is becoming a compliance expectation as regulators demand proof that employees understand how AI influences their workflows. But the training must be contextual, not technical. Leaders should focus on what employees need to know to make good decisions, escalate risks, and identify anomalies. There is also a cultural component. Institutions that treat AI governance as a burden fall behind. Institutions that treat it as a strategic enabler move ahead. Culture determines whether governance is embraced or avoided, and regulators can sense the difference. Before we go further, here is an important compliance alert, something every executive needs to hear clearly. Before you implement any AI system, here is the mistake that could cost you. Financial institutions often adopt AI tools before defining the governance boundaries that control them. They launch first and govern later. And in this regulatory environment, that sequence is backwards. The governance must come before the deployment. If you reverse those two steps, you expose the institution to enforcement actions that are far more expensive than the cost of doing governance right from the beginning. Now, as you start building your AI risk controls for 2026 and beyond, remember that the real value comes from intentional design. You want governance that is strong enough to satisfy regulators and flexible enough to support innovation. You want governance that enhances operational efficiency, not slows it down. And most importantly, you want governance that protects the institution from the risks AI introduces without restricting the benefits AI creates. This is where many CEOs start asking for deeper breakdowns. How to evaluate high-risk AI systems, how to build monitoring loops that regulators support, how to integrate governance into legacy infrastructures, how to align AI oversight with capital planning, and how to elevate AI governance to a board-level discipline. These deeper strategic frameworks, analyses, and decision maps are exactly what will be featured inside the upcoming membership platform. So be on the lookout for our upcoming membership platform where full deep dive breakdowns, complete frameworks, and executive-level strategic guidance will be available. Everything will be delivered exclusively in a video-based format, designed specifically for leaders who need clarity, not complexity. As we close out this conversation, remember this. Financial institutions that take AI governance seriously will have a competitive advantage that compounds over time. They will innovate faster because they innovate with confidence. They will deploy AI more effectively because they understand how to supervise it. And when regulators shift from guidance to enforcement, as they are already signaling, they will be ready. Strong AI governance is not about avoiding risk. It is about creating resilience. It is about giving your institution permission to innovate responsibly. And in a financial sector defined by uncertainty, resilience is the most valuable asset you can build. Quick summary and key takeaways. AI governance in financial institutions is now a regulatory expectation, not an optional enhancement. A visibility and classification of all AI systems are foundational to controlling risk. High-risk AI systems require traceability, transparency, and continuous monitoring. A decision integrity is the core of future financial services risk management. A documentation and cross-functional oversight are essential for regulatory confidence. A governance must be designed before deployment to avoid enforcement exposure. The upcoming membership platform will provide deep-dive video analysis, executive-level frameworks, strategic interpretation, and the emerging solution path for AI regulation and compliance intelligence. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss our value-packed videos and stay ahead of the latest shifts in AI regulation and compliance intelligence for financial services. You'll also be the first to know when we launch our highly anticipated membership platform, featuring deep dive analysis, strategic insights, and real solutions to today's AI regulatory challenges. If this video brought you value, please hit the thumbs up and comment. I love these AI regulation and compliance intelligence for financial services video contents. Your support helps us continue creating high-impact content for leaders like you.